business and his live streams. So, Doc, tell everyone how you doing.
Hey, I'm doing good. Thanks so much for having me back, Erica. This is going to be a good year. There's a lot of good things happening with live streaming on YouTube, a lot of different ways to make money. And yeah, we'll talk about breaking that down and launching a new podcast this month with Edmund too. So Micro Empires. So I'm excited.
I'm excited about that too. So, with the hackathon and you writing out all of your goals, was YouTube just one of the places you wanted to live stream to, or is that where you would find the most money?
Yeah, that's a little bit of both. So my main place I'm going to be streaming is still going to be YouTube. I'm going to stream on Facebook mainly for the transcription aspect. So they have another auto generation with closed captions that I can use when I repurpose my thing. So I just go live on YouTube. I don't really get that much traction, but the benefits of that, huge. Twitch, just because. And then also, I've got to see what my numbers have to be like for TikTok, but I'll probably do TikTok solo with another camera as well. And then we'll talk about Amazon Live and all that stuff too.
Okay, that sounds really good. I have plans for let's see, Facebook stories, reels, Instagram stories and reels. If I would have got in on it last year, 2022, the cap was 30,000. So now the cap is 12,000, but I think I can still get in there.
What? Tell me more about the cap. Is that how much they're going to pay you full?
Yes.
Is that what's going on?
Yes.
Interesting.
So you get so many views per month. So I think it's like 12 or it's either 1,000 or 12,000 views per month. And that's how much they pay you.
Interesting. And then what about the people that got in early? Do they still have the cap at 30 or did it drop down to 12?
Yeah, I think it dropped down.
Okay, so this is another reason. It's good. So I'm not saying anything's wrong with that, but see, that's why I think YouTube is so smart with their partnership, because there's no cap. It's just a split. And so if there's no cap, it's mutually beneficial for both, because YouTube is saying, create great content and we're going to reward you with the numbers. And I feel like TikTok and IG, it's still limited. It's less competition than YouTube, just because it's not as old and the structure and all those things. And those platforms are really pushing their new advantages with the way that they're paying. But long term, and we'll talk about kind of the things that YouTube's adding for creators in 2023. I'm like, it's good. Just wait until what YouTube does this year, though.
Yeah, YouTube already surprised me by letting me have my name. I was quick to jump on that.
Yep.
So I got my name and my streaming, or my live streaming Talk Virtual. I got that. I got both of those.
Nice. Do it. Yeah. That's going to be huge to get the handle and everything.
So I heard they're going to pay for YouTube Shorts. I don't remember how much, but I heard in 2023 they're going to pay.
Yeah. So TikTok has the creator fund, right? So there's a cap, and they're kind of changing it because they saw what YouTube's doing. This year, you have to get a certain amount of views, but you can still be in the creator program, which means that you're going to get a rev share. You're going to get a split of how much you're bringing in on YouTube Shorts. It's going to be a little bit different. I got to check the numbers. I think it's a 10% difference. But I mean, some people are just repurposing their TikToks and still putting it on there. And I mean, if you're already having success on TikTok and the format and like the cadence and that style, you're going to blow up on YouTube Shorts, just because you've already got the algorithm down. You've already got basically the way how you structure the video. You've got your view duration, the way that's dialed in, versus most YouTubers like myself. I'm still learning how to do good shorts because I didn't invest time into TikTok. We'll go into another thing too. I mean, if you want to, and if you want me to stay more on track, I will. But the thing is, YouTube long form is still always going to pay you more because they're rewarding you longer they stay. So unless I've got like 50 crazy great shorts, I'm not even going to sniff. I'm not even going to get close to what I'm doing on my videos right now that are 10 minutes, 15 minutes long anyway. And we'll talk about brand loyalty if you want to with shorts anyway. But yeah, that's just the quick thing.
So I only have one short out on YouTube, and it's because I use my phone. I can't upload my snippets because they're over 15 seconds. I hate that. And like you just said, I'm going to use my phone to record me while I live stream. I'm sure there was an app for that. What was it called? Live to Social. Wasn't too long on AppSumo. Got that. It will integrate with OneStream Live, and I like that. So that's definitely one of the things I'm going to do. Besides, I'm still going to use my snippets. Facebook and Instagram both have schedulers. I also like what's that called? Hanny Mora has this program, and I can't think of the name of it.
Repurpose.io.
Yes, repurpose.io and Content Fry. So I'm trying to use both of those because they do just very small little different things.
Yeah, and for you, definitely this year, because you're doing so much, focus on one thing at a time. Add one thing to your tech stack. Don't worry about trying to do everything at once, because I see tons of people like last year, they're like, I gotta do everything, and then they don't do nothing. And it's like, okay, yes, you've got to deal with most companies are dealing with teams and dealing with all this stuff, or it's a creator that has built it over years and they've added it over the years. So don't feel overwhelmed like where they are right now, I have to get to that point. It's like, whoa, let's just talk about it. Are you live streaming consistently? If you're not doing that, don't worry about adding anything else. Just get used to creating content continually, with your cadence that you want.
So yes, I am live streaming continuously. So yay for that. Thanks to you.
Oh, cool.
So if you guys don't know, I was scared to live stream, and I saw Doc on a Hey Summit event, and he said everyone should try it. And if you're scared, try it with a guest. So that's what I've been doing for a really long time. And then I got this gig with OneStream who says I can be more of an influencer if it was just me, but it's so nice and so easy to have guests because I don't know all the answers.
But you always find the answers, Erica, or you go and find people that have it. So no, I think you're doing a great job. You live stream more than me. I'm always seeing, or you repurpose. I'm like, what in the world? Erica's live right now. What's going on with that? Yeah. So yeah, live streaming can do a lot of things, not just monetarily, but as an authority in the space. Showing up. There's so many things, and too, if you're going to guest star and being on other virtual summits and events, people see that you can already do it. They see that you have the show. They see that you have everything, the specs, the mic, the camera. So they know that you're already going to be a great possible featured guest. And that just builds your brand right there. So it's awesome. I love to see that you're doing that.
Right. So, yeah, I do want to do everything all at once.
We got to get a list. You got to get a list, first of all. You got to do a list, what you want to do, and then why, and each adding to like each point. Do you want me to pull up like what do you want me to do first? Do you want me to pull up from my planning from this year and talk about live streaming? Where do you want me to start here, Erica? What do you want?
Let's do the planning. I really did like the hackathon. I got there late live, but I did rewatch the whole thing the next day.
Well, thank you. Okay, let's talk about this. And I made something also too after the show, which I think you'll like as well. So let me break this down real quick. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Let me know. Can you see everything?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So what we did was a business hackathon. And the reason why we do this is just keeping ourselves honest. What are we doing? And then also I want to see how have the goals changed over the years to see if am I really off? Am I doing things what's going on? So here I just pulled the last 2 years, kind of like what we're trying to do and then where we're going. So definitely in 2021, I thought I wanted to do group coaching, all of this stuff with choruses and action guides. And I realized I like I'm still going to do group coaching, but I haven't found the right way to do it for me. I think I was trying to copy too many people, like, this is the way you do group coaching. And that flavor just doesn't work for me. So then I switched. What do I really like doing? Like, what do I really love doing? And that's creating media. That's creating content. That's all those things. So you'll see it this year, but we've been creating a media studio for training and just a place to record and all these things. So that's what we created. So if you look at like my YouTube stories, I'm in the new space and all of those things. And I think I've decided, instead of saying I want to do group coaching, I want to create micro businesses instead, and have a portfolio of creating micro businesses that I can sell or retain, and just decide what I want to do with it. And so that was a big change of like, oh, I just want courses. Like, no. I want micro businesses. That's what I want. And then with that came deciding how was the income structure going to be. And we can kind of talk about like how much this can just be dependent on YouTube and like live streaming. But here are all the 13 ways that we're making money this year. And I can go into a little bit more detail for that, but you let me know what you think.
I wanted to ask, I thought course creation was like a small business by itself. So is it something different?
Yeah, that's a great question. The way I'm positioning it, it's going to change. And the reason, that's a great question. I want it to be under a different brand. So if I decide to sell the course business, I can sell it separately and it's not my brand. So I think it's going to be under possibly, and that's what we're going to go with, probably Maker Tech Tools is probably going to be that one. And the reason it would be separate is I can have other people teach their expertise about being a maker or creator and how they're doing it, their business. And it can almost be closer. I would say I want it to be like a marketplace similar to AppSumo, but only for courses.
Nice. Okay.
So that's the real, or, someone would be like, oh, so it's like a Udemy. Udemy, I feel like you can definitely go to Udemy, but there's so much in Udemy. It's really hard Udemy is just a different ecosystem. I mean, if you look at it, even the creator of Udemy switched, and that's why they made Maven instead. I mean, there's so many reasons. Like, Udemy made sense in the time, but there's a lot of differences. So I would say it's a super niche version of Udemy that I'm trying to create, I guess. Very, very specific, only for creators and makers. And yeah, so simple answer is, I think I'm going to be looking at creating a platform that's not associated with my name, and being able to scale from there. Does that make sense?
I think it does. So
again, we're trying it out. We'll see.
Are you going to use your name as like a more of a personal brand?
Okay, I'm going to be real with you. Every time that I do companies without, I tried to not use my name for a long time. But when I started to being more personal, that's when the business took off. And so I'm trying to ride that line, because eventually I do want to sell certain products, and I don't want it to be associated just with me. Like, say for instance, right? VaynerMedia can't be sold to Warren Buffett. I mean, well, if Gary wasn't involved, where would the value be?
Yeah.
Right. Vayner Sports, VaynerX, VaynerMedia, like those are, I mean, I guess Sasha, which is his dad, so Sasha Group. But you see what I'm saying? Like, and later on, he did buy other 1:37 p.m. stuff like that. But it's all very, very tied up with him, right? Mm-hmm. And so I just want to make sure that I'm diversifying that. When we're having streams of income or what I'm doing, it doesn't have to be just me if I want to do something different.
Yeah. Okay. So like, if you have Maker Tech Tools and you have like different live streamers underneath you, but all under the same name, they could all have like different playlists or something.
Exactly.
Right.
So they'll have different playlists. They can sell. Obviously, it will be a percentage on both, but then I can scale if I want to, scale that whole thing. And then if you look at Teachable. If you look at, although that's a platform to be able to create courses, but there are a number of different ones, Stack Social, other ones that they've done. They've been able to consolidate and sell their side of the business because it's associated with a brand, not a person. And I think the personal brand, I'm always going to be into business and I'm always going to be into new tech. Like that's just who I am. So, but I still want to be able to, hey, if I want to do this over here, spin it off. There we go. So I'm still thinking about that. It's not official, because then think about how much time and energy that takes to build another brand, right? So that's just something we're thinking about. That's what's coming up this year. But all of these can all be associated with my personal brand. All of them. Do you want me to go through them or no?
Yes, please. I also want to ask you your thoughts on a holding company like VaynerX.
Yeah.
Holds all of VaynerMedia.
Yeah, that's very funny. That is very funny. So I'm a huge fan of holding companies because we're creating one. It's going to be HCT Limited. So HCT Limited will have like 4-inch studios, and micro empires will be under it. A couple of things. So I'm a huge fan of that if it's done correctly. But yeah, holding companies, holding studios. I think it's great. I think it's really, really great.
And it's not your name.
It's not. Yeah, exactly right. And yeah, I mean, if you look at VaynerX, it makes a lot of sense why they're doing it, and they can move around supplies if they need to. For example, if someone's on a certain team, it's a lot easier for you to plug and play them into another one of his companies because it's a holding company, versus you needing to change filing taxes, all this other stuff. Again, I'm not a lawyer or, go talk to them, but it's a lot easier if you're having a holding company than anything else. So I definitely agree. Okay, so this is what we're planning to do for 2023, and a lot have to do with live streaming as well. So sponsored content, our podcast and media, we're going to be doing a new podcast called Micro Empires, where it's challenging people to think differently and have their own portfolio and stuff like that. We're going to do that as a podcast and a YouTube channel by itself. And the reason behind it is, for sponsors, we can look at the total time watched on YouTube and downloads for podcasts and video podcasts. I can have a lot more analytics than podcast analytics, and I can monetize that with advertisers a lot different. Also, to say it again.
May I ask if you're going to use the YouTube RSS feed to go to a audio only podcast also?
I'm thinking about it. That's a really good question. That's what we're planning to do. Something like that. I think we might use the script, clean it up, publish it directly to YouTube. I was going to just use repurpose and strip the audio and put it that way. But YouTube RSS makes sense to me too. And then once that goes up on the podcast, just having that live on podcast.co to distribute, blah, 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 and go that way. We could also do Anchor, but I think we're using podcast.co.
I like Anchor because it was free, but they told me no when I asked about picking up the YouTube RSS feed. And my favorite marketing teacher says, if you're talking to someone and you want something, they tell you no, you're talking to the wrong person. You need to ask someone else. So that's why I went to Soundwise.
That's funny. Yeah.
Like, we're live right now. And right after this finish, it goes directly to Soundwise by itself.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's just the way to do it. It's just the way to do it. And again, you already know, I'm all about automation, making it simple. So if we can just streamline the approach of how to do it, that's the way we're going to do it. So that's the sponsored content for podcasts. For media, we do have a few sponsors for the Doc Williams YouTube channel. There might be some more coming up this year, but now, before I would accept 1 month deals, stuff like that. Now I look for only 6 months or 12 months deals, and it's in the ecosystem. So it's not just going to be an ad. It's going to be a link on the website, or it's going to be mentioned in the email and why I like the product, things like that. That really makes sense, and they'll see it over time versus just one time.
Okay.
Digital downloads, I use it through paper form, but I found that I was just looking back at this year, like what sold the most. It was docs, and like beginner Notion templates, like Flutterflow for beginners, all of those type of beginner guides. They're so quick and easy. And honestly, I just don't have to worry about the customer service because it's $7 products. Like I just when I've sold courses like 1,500, and people are so like, and maybe I'm not setting up the expectation well enough, but like people find reasons because that price point, they're like, oh, let me just get a refund to do it, pay for something else. Well, I'm like, you didn't even try. You didn't even try. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is like 14 steps. I know you didn't do any of these things. So maybe I have to change like how, but I just don't want the headache. So I'm like, hey, if you want to see all my stuff, watch on a live stream, pay me if you want me to do consulting. But if not, here's things to get started. And then I just picked, honestly, it was on a live stream. I asked how much people would pay. They're like $7 and $14. That's how I had the prices, and that's it.
Wow. I was just about to ask that. I think your stuff is worth way more than $7 or $14.
I think so. But you know what? It's also that like, it's that way of, it's so cheap and it's so stupid not to buy it kind of price. Like, you have to do a lot more storyline, and I can't, I have to work on that, honestly, to justify the price, because honestly, yeah, you're right. I think it's way more, but then again, we'll talk about this next one. That's why I'm doing consulting, and it's a certain price point. So I don't have to justify. I'm not going to go back and forth on price. It's like, either here's something really, really cheap, or if you're ready and it makes sense for you, here's consulting. That's it. Group coaching is still going to be in the middle. Once again, I haven't figured out the format, and that's why we were talking about it. I think I want to do workshops instead, but I digress. So that's coming out. Courses. I have a couple courses anyway, but I just got picked up. I mean, I guess I can say it because I got signed. It's a European company called Domestika. They're flying. Well, I'm driving. I'm going to go to New York. We film it in person, all of these things. And it's going to be a full course about Flutterflow. So they pay you in advance. You get a percentage on all sales with that. And it's a signature course. And so, yeah, so we have that. Affiliate marketing. I tell people, just get started, and you don't have to have all the affiliates you use all at once, but think about one product that you love and just be an affiliate of that first. And it's going to work for you. I will say, depending on the company, I do get a little bit bitter with some of the companies changing their affiliate programs in the middle, and don't say, like, listen, I'm not going to go anywhere with ConvertKit. I have to check if I'm like retroactively still do lifetime, but I checked out their contract, and I think you only get paid for the first year now versus lifetime reoccurring if the person stays with you, which is a huge difference to me. So just watch the contract and what you're going to sell, what you're going to sign and everything. But for the most part, they have the benefit to change it if they feel fit. So that's the downside of affiliate marketing. But again, I just have all my affiliates in all of my YouTube descriptions, and, it's passively. So my biggest ones probably are Softer, Repurpose.io, probably ConvertKit. Probably those are my three. I have a lot more affiliates, but it depends. It's the tech stack. What are people looking at? We'll go from there. Before I go on, does all this make sense? Anything
Yeah.
any questions?
I was just gonna say, I like the affiliate program that have like sub accounts. Like you can bring
Yes.
people on under you.
Yes.
Yeah.
What programs do you like?
OneStream Live does that. Book Like a Boss does that.
I didn't know Book Like a Boss did that.
I love Book Like a Boss.
We're gonna talk about this in a second. Yeah. What else you got? I'm changing. I'm getting something else so you can see it. 1 second.
Those are the only two that I know that have the sub accounts. So,
Okay.
and yes, like you, I have my YouTube account. Every time I go live, when something comes up, those links are automatically underneath there.
Love it. Yeah, I mean, it's just passive, and especially the more views you get later on, the more they're going to be interested. And for a while, it's like no one looks at these links, no one cares. But then I get messages of people like, "Hey, this link is broken." I'm like, "Oh crap!" Like, okay, it happens at least a couple times a month. I'm like, "Oh, I got to update that," or it's an old video. So if you look at your YouTube analytics and your top 10 videos, just make sure your most recent your most recent affiliate links are updated in top 10, just because that's the highest traffic you're getting from your account or from your channel.
One more question.
Yeah.
Like you, I dislike the stories. I just want people to get to the point and tell me what a product or service can do for me.
Yeah.
I don't like going through the stories, but I've always heard that stories sell. Do you believe it to be true?
Tell me more. Instagram stories or YouTube stories?
Just the stories of the service or product. Like I guess when you're having the affiliate link attached to it.
Oh,
I'm not
really?
big on, yeah, I'm
I
not big on the
I'm
stories.
not
I'm
big on
like, just
that.
get to the point.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't do that. No, I just usually say this is my tech stack. If you want to support the channel and support me, like check out what I'm using down below. I'm not really big on that. Now, when I'm using and the same thing, software with the service, when I'm doing SWAS, I guess I should have put SWAS down here too. SWAS, if I'm working with clients, but see, I put that in consulting. So when I'm working with clients, I'll just say, hey, this is what I'm working with. Look at how I'm using it. If you like this, maybe we should use this. And by the way, I'm an affiliate. I really appreciate if you want to support. There we go. I don't like to strong arm. You can, but I find that if they're already your client, they already love you. They're already gonna like. If they want to support you. They're probably 99% of the time they're going to support you. Before I was like, yeah, you make sure that they do it. I'm like, was it really worth being strong arming someone for an extra $10 a month? Like, is that necessary? But
No.
that's the only storyline, like Shorty SMS or something like that. If I'm doing some of the AppSumo, I'm like, hey, I'm using Shorty SMS like this. Do you want this in your business? Here it is in AppSumo. But I mean, we can talk about a whole other thing with AppSumo. The reality is a couple things with AppSumo. The affiliate program sucks, and they know this. I tell them this all the time because it's first time. It's first time, right? It's a addiction site. So why are you not allowing me to make money when I'm getting them to continually be addicted to your product, and you only allow me to get money off of new customers? No, thank you. So I put it in there, but I don't even promote them. And like, it's been like 4 years and they're like, yes, we understand. I'm like, you ain't trying, you're making money hand over fist. I don't work with affiliates like that. And they know that. Everyone knows I support AppSumo, but like their affiliate program, I just don't support. So,
Yeah.
should we go on to signature operations systems?
Yes, please.
Okay. So this is, we have it, Brand Factory OS. So it's 3 levels, 9 steps. And honestly, I mean, I don't have a problem showing people this all the time. This is how we build 6 and 7 figure businesses right here. Like, I don't like to have it all shadowed or, half of this blurred out. Like, this is the 9 steps that will get you from an idea to online business and get you to sell it if you want to, or just create a lifestyle business. So, the operating system, this comes with our coaching program, but they get all of this. And then also, just because I love Notion, I just have it. I'm always instead I was like, oh, it's got to be course based and blah. No, I know where all my links are. So they can copy over the operating system. So like, say for instance, like the PR tour, first allows them to understand how to build out a topic, expanding your network, $1 million message. I help experts to have a roadmap to become an authority in their industry in 90 days without hiring a publicist, so they can double your rates. Like, I don't even try to like sugarcoat people like, oh, you can't. No, that's what this section does. And then with it, and I showed it on stream a little bit, like we talk about your goal, your overall narrative. And that's really important if you're trying to get PR, like what is your narrative so people can understand. Like, for example, remember when Gary Vee used to be about hustling and then he switched to kindness, right? there's a clear overall message change of what you're trying to do. There was a couple other word choices the years in between, from hustling to kindness, but his whole mission was to get to kindness and being basically grateful, that kind of thing, right? So that happens because you're changing the narrative when you're doing the PR tour. So this breaks down your PR tour, how you can structure what you're doing weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly, your content ideas, your lenses, which means how are people perceiving you, and then your topics, your storylines, your lead gens, how do people get into your funnel, your conversion point, which mean are you measuring when people become your customer, and then your product suite. And then it goes through your entire assignments of the year, how to build your own live streaming, like what you need to do going live. How do you guest star and be guest starring on other people's stuff monthly? How do you create your own quarterly tent poles or be a part of them? And then how you create your own signature event. So all of that has to do with our signature operation, like our operation system, our OS. And yeah, so we sell that, but only after they become a consulting client. Like we just off the street, we're not just like, would you like to buy this? Like, number one, I know people, I was the same way. I would just copy the Notion template and do nothing. And I would just hoard the information and be like, one day I'll do. It's like, no. You're not going to do it. So that's the operating system that we sell, which is high ticket.
You know, when I was able to join you for the hackathon, and I printed this out, and each year I printed them out and I did it. And you know what? I saw you do it this year, and I was like, man, I wish I was there. So please do it again and let me join you.
All right. We're actually probably, I was thinking about this. You know, the problem is December is really, I like December because it's just really slow time, because a lot of people, their businesses are slow. But I find that a lot of people that are trying to build this as a side hustle, they're just busy with work, with holidays, with everything. So I think we might switch it to January. So stay tuned. We're going to do the planning for the year. I think it's going to be released in 2 weeks or so. So stay tuned. So we're probably going to do a live version of it.
Hooray.
Mainly because of harassment from you. But no, this is going to be good. A lot of people are talking about it. Yeah. Should I keep going on? What do you think?
Yes, please.
Okay. The next one is business consulting. I think a lot of people can do this. But you have to figure out what works for you. And I'll kind of talk about like how I've done it over time and how it's like changed. But business consulting, just like think about, don't try to get like this wondrous, like I'll train them about all their business. Like what are you gonna, how are you gonna impact their business, and pick like one thing. And that's important to stand out, but for yourself not to go insane in scope creep. Because if you say you're gonna do everything in their business, people will be throwing all kinds of crap your way, and you just don't want it. So if you're like Erica, live events or virtual live events, okay, that's what you're training the person on. That's what you need to really focus in. I'm going to allow you to create your next live event in the next 60 days, and you're going to double your income, right? So you're giving them a time constraint and you're giving them an end goal for them to why they should work with you. You can do the same thing like website design, micro SaaS. We just finished a micro SaaS thing. And again, we found ways we had to change that too, right? So with business consulting, and of course I use Book Like a Boss. I'll talk about this in a second, but I just make it super, super simple. And if they're ready, like I just drop the link and that's it. Membership sites, we've been trying this back and forth, right? I think you're a member on YouTube. This goes back to, I might do something similar to how Andrew, I forget his last name. Basically, it's a help desk plus. And I like this concept where basically he's giving you access to a Slack. And if you're having automation questions, he'll get to you. Like it's a speedier version than if you ask Zapier or Make, they're probably not going to get back to you. They're just going to refer you to some generic, reference or, blog post, how to do it, but he'll interact with you on Slack. And like, I don't know if he gives a guarantee of how many hours before he'll respond back to you, but it's just called Help Desk Plus, and I really like that. And I might think about doing something like that. If I was going to use it, I would use Heartbeat, because we'll talk about like my pros and cons, what I like about Heartbeat, what I don't like about things. We'll talk about that. But I think Heartbeat Plus. I think having a Help Desk Plus for like business owners, I think it would be really valuable. The problem is just I don't want it to scope creep into business consulting. I'm spending all my time just doing help desk things. And I'm like, really, you just need to go to my consulting program. Like so I think either a limit of like, you can ask 2 questions a week, or you can join the Zoom call when we do our live stream, something like that, to keep it a clear delineation from business consulting. Still working on that. What do you think about that idea?
Oh, so I have an idea for you. I am a
Oh.
big fan of Chris Do. He runs The Future. So how he has like you can join the membership site on YouTube, but he says, don't give YouTube any money. Here's my Vimeo link. Send money there, and I'll send you a link so you can join a place like Heartbeat. So people can pay like 3 months in advance, 6 months in advance, a year in advance, and the money just goes straight to you. So I thought that was brilliant.
Are you in that group?
No, not yet.
How much is he charging?
He's asking for, I think, just for the YouTube videos, and I'm guessing, I think it's like $99 a month. Yeah.
Interesting.
Not bad though.
No,
he
it's not
definitely
bad.
gives great information.
I just wonder, that's what I'm trying to figure out. So what's his offering? Tell me the offering again.
So you have these videos. He has certain topics that he talks about, and it's like maybe once a month, in addition to his free stuff on YouTube, but they're like specialized stuff. Like, let's say you want to know about branding or pricing, something like that. He'll spend the whole year talking about that one subject, and to make sure you
The whole year.
Yep, and you can use it. So $99 a month for a year on that subject.
What?
Yeah.
That's not bad though. I mean, that year, I mean, you can really deep dive. That's interesting.
So the pro group is just a little bit more, and it's even more information. And I don't have enough money for that, but one day I will.
That's awesome. Okay, I gotta just go through his funnel. I might just jack his stuff. But no, that's a really good idea. And that's what I'm thinking about. Yeah. So again, TBD. That's why it's like the membership. We're not shutting off membership right here, but we might have it evolve. So that's right. I think he used Circle. I think he uses Circle for his community. I think. But yeah. So memberships, we're still working on that. Thank you about that, Erica. We might have to look at that. YouTube ad revenue. The reason I put this so low is YouTube ad revenue can go up and down so much. And the reason behind that is it can be a good year for advertisers. It can be a bad year, right? If it, like in May, when everyone got scared with the stock market, tons of big companies shredded their ads, like their budgets, right? Because they were trying to be more lean and make more profit. So there's something about that. By the way, we're going to be doing an experiment. Tons of advertisers are leaving Twitter. So we might start buying up ads on Twitter because they're dirt cheap right now. So that's an experiment we're going to try.
I just knew you were about to say you're going to ask all of those advertisers to come advertise on all of your platforms.
That would be awesome. This is the reality of it. If we want big sponsors, we have to play the game, which means you have to go to these events. You've got to rub shoulders with people, and they got to do all this stuff. It's just the game, because honestly, an email is so impersonal, and so many people are trying to get their attention. Unless you have the connection and you know who you need to talk to, just like you said, if they say no, you're talking to the wrong person. You need to be in front of the right people, and it's the relationship. Either you're paying for a high ticket group that people know the right advertisers, which is that's another thing. I would have to pay for a premium, online group, which could work. Or you just got to know the company and start associating with them. Like I'm pretty bullish on this. I think if I went to VidCon or Vid Summit, I think I would have got the sponsors for a lot of live streaming or anything the way I wanted it if I went to the ones in person. So TBD. I do want that, but yeah, it's a game. It's a game. Because there's just a lot of shady people. I understand the internet is shady. It's just the way it is. Crypto space is really shady, but internet space is shady too, like everything. So they just got to know that you're a good person. And if it works out, it's mutually beneficial. It'll work out.
Yeah, I was about to say, I met Doc Williams on the internet and he's a good guy.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Well, okay. How did you hear about me? Was it AppSumo first or was it Hey Summit?
AppSumo.
Okay. And see, so I think there's, especially when AppSumo is so small, like having small teams and like having smaller brands you connect with and they bring in people they like, that's like the key. I think that's the cheat code. So like, I love Eamon. Used to be the CEO of AppSumo. He's awesome. When you got good people and you meet them, like it just works. If it works, it works. I digress. So
wait, I have another idea for you.
Oh yeah, what you got? Stop doing this. I'm supposed to streamline for 2023. What do you got?
So Giving Tuesday is in November. It is the Tuesday after Black Friday. If you go to Facebook and ask about Giving Tuesday, it'll give you a list of all the charities that are part of Giving Tuesday. And get this, they don't live stream. Can you believe there are still businesses in 2023 that don't live stream?
That's a good point.
So you were thinking about reaching out to people. I think that would be a good group of people to reach out to.
I love that. What do you think? Just around the holiday or just see that
right
list
now,
and just start doing it?
They don't know. They are literally not live streaming.
That's crazy. I might look at that. Thank you. Why aren't you doing this, Erica? Why aren't you reaching out to them?
It's on my list. I got a list of companies to reach out to, and I got a list of those charities. I mean, it's a long list, so you can just pick your favorite 10
and roll with that, huh?
Out to them. Yeah,
I might do that. That's really interesting. Let's see. I'm just making sure. Okay. I have to end at the 30, but we're not gonna, we still got 20 minutes. I'm making sure. I'm like, wait a minute. When I start talking, I have a problem. Okay. So we had that workshops. We kind of talked about it. Workshops, you can do a workshop on anything. You can do a short-term workshop, a one-day workshop, a series of workshops. I'm just a huge fan of that because if you record the workshops, you can repurpose them and just create a course based off the workshop. I mean, it's the simplest thing. And then you can decide what you want to edit out, or you might create resources. Like we did a couple years of the the business hackathon, and then you got the resource guide last year because it was the year before. We're like, hey, what do we want? What do we need to do? And then we refined it. So I love workshops. It's a living thing. You can constantly get better at it. It's wonderful. Self-publishing. We have a self-published book. We have a paid publishing. We can't announce it yet, but there's something coming soon. Super chat donations that you can do on YouTube. I think super chats are over 500 now, 500 subscribers, you can get super chats. But you can also have the link for Buy Me a Coffee or Ko-Fi. So you don't need the super chat right there. It's just more convenient. And also, just to let you know, with courses, they're releasing it next year or this year. YouTube is going to allow you to create courses natively on YouTube. Wow. So people are going to be able to buy directly from you, which is huge. I think we're going to have a couple beginner courses on YouTube now. And for live streaming, they're doing with certain creators. I don't have access yet. You can pin certain products in your live stream so people can go directly to the item to buy when you're streaming. So very similar. You see that they're trying to fight against like Amazon Live. Amazon Live kind of does that. I just think Amazon has so many products and so many offerings. They don't really know how to capitalize on Amazon Live. But that's another revenue You got to just do a lot of stuff. I see it. I think I'm in the wrong like business to do it. If I was doing like hardware or clothes or something, like I think people can kill it on Amazon Live. If you were just doing like, did you ever see this happen a couple years ago? A lot of moms and housewives were doing Facebook lives and they were just selling like doing trunk shows with live streams. They were killing it because they use like a third party. It was like an H&M or like whatever, but it was off label kind of stuff. And they would just have like just their closet and just like sell straight from their closet on Facebook. They were making millions a year. And then they would get an affiliate, like the sub affiliates getting their other girlfriends to do it as well, live streaming. It's not as big right now. I think that fad kind of faded, but I mean,
Sure, there's a lot of people doing that whole paparazzi jewelry thing.
that's what I'm saying.
Some people are partnering with them, doing live streaming and doing the overlays for them with the live selling feature.
That's crazy. I'm telling you, that's what I'm saying. It's just same thing. Whatever the hottest thing is, just do it. Like I'm telling you, some of these women just, I'm like, man, because seriously, think about it. They think about how many other mothers in that bracket do they know? They've already got their affiliate marketing, they've already got their network, and bam, they just, and the algorithm loves them on Facebook. I'm like, oh man. I wish, but it's something. So I mean, I don't do it, but I'm like, I see so many creators that could be doing that. That's just a side point. And then licensed content. This is shout out to Roberto Blake. Love his content. If anyone does not follow him, go watch him. But don't just give away your stuff for free. If people want to use your content, license it per year, and do that. I want to get more into this, especially with like the franchise model. This is what I'm looking at. Franchising standard operating procedures for online businesses. So like like Florence Studios Shopify way, right? And we would put it under Florence Studio, not Brand Factory or Doc Williams. Or maybe we'll do Doc. And the point is, doing the SOPs, you're selling them the standard operating procedures, but they're getting charged per year to have access to all the updates and everything like that.
Okay.
So, yeah, go ahead.
I have a question about the self-publishing.
Yeah.
Are you buying the IBN number, or are you just using the thing that comes with Amazon? And I forgot what Amazon calls it.
Yeah, whatever Amazon, I think it starts with a K or whatever. But yeah, whatever they're doing, I'm just like, yeah. Yeah, that's the basic one. I know how to do it the other way, but I'm just gonna be honest, I'm lazy. So I'm just not gonna do it.
Don't leave it.
So it's just, I'm like, let me just make it simple. So we have a couple, and the reason we want it was, I mean, you're hacking the system. Tons of people do this. As long as you beat the top 10 in your premiere week of any major like entity, you can be a national or international bestseller. So that's how I became a national and international bestseller with our book. But the thing is, the hack is you can pick your category, right? So I just picked toys and we just killed them in there. But I mean, you can go against podcasting, you can do whatever, but like, because very few people ever ask you, like, you're an international bestseller, what was your category? No one is yelling like, what's your category? Like, no, you're national bestseller. Sounds great, all those things. Now, like, say, for instance, that's why there's like LA Times bestseller, national bestseller, New York Times has a better ring to it and everyone knows of it. But if you see people that say they're a national bestseller, they can pick any ranking system and you can be a bestseller if you plan it right, if you buy a certain amount, stuff like that.
Okay.
But anyone else, even like Gary, I mean, he's smart. If you look at it, why does he always win? Because he has tons of contests about how many books you need to buy when they first come out. But he's almost guaranteed to win his slot. And he's willing to do it, right? If you buy 30, 40 because it's hardcover, softcover, digital downloads, you get different points awarded. So if you actually get it, or get a certain amount of people to buy a large amount, you're good to go. I have one more thing to show you, but what are you going to say?
I was just thinking about how I had an argument with someone who says best-selling authors don't have well-written books. I'm like, it's not a Pulitzer Prize, it's
Yeah.
best-selling, not well-written.
Exactly right. It doesn't matter. I mean, this is just a game. You're using the book as a glorified business card to do other things. Release your
Yep.
course, be on a certain stage. Like, let's be real. You have to now listen. We talk about this. My sister is a published author. She does fiction, all those things. But when she got signed, you had to play the game. Okay. The reality, if you're going to feel like, oh, it's about the art, listen, if you want more, if you want to sign multiple book deals, you've got to play the game, because this is a business. Like, it's just how it is. And that's why they have agents away from a lot of authors, because if there's authors that are very whimsical about what they want to do, they're not ready for this business game. That's why the agent's going to do all those things. This is the last thing I'll show you. Everything I talked about right here. After the live stream, I just made this product suite for all of my stuff. So I have all my socials here. I just changed my brand kit and my press kit, so that's why this is empty right here. I have my Connect with Doc. This is something new that I do now also too. If I want to get people on the show, if I want to talk to them, I send them a video about myself before we even connect. That way, if they like my vibe and it works, great. And they say that, and this is the AppSumo video that I did, which I still love. And so I go that way. Then I have my Book Like a Boss. Then I have all my affiliate links right here, which we just keep adding. And then these are like, and it's broken down to which ones I use the most and why do I like it, all this stuff. But that's how I have it. All my lead magnets that I'm going to use for the year. And if you look at it, I'm only going to have 3. I'm going to have the No Code Trends report, which I love. Sabrina designed that, by the way, in Canva.
I kind of thought it was her. Her colors gives her away.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's funny. That's funny. You can tell it's her. Yeah, I was like, please do this. I was like, this is the style. I was like, these are kind of the fonts, and then she did the rest. And of course, paper form, all day long. 50 high profit side hustles, like that always does it. And then the save time and make more money. People love the worksheet. I see more people that love the worksheet than the course that I made. So we're just adding the downloaded like PDF with it and just that. My opening products, Basecamp, which is going to be my micro businesses, and then our guide, Being a Guide, is going to be consulting. So this is the streamlined package of like everyone on the team, all of our VAs, all of our project managers, Sabrina, like this is what we use. If people are like, where can you find Doc? Like, these are the only ones that I'm going to be on. This is what we're going to give for companies. This is how we're going to just offer affiliates. This is the lead magnets. This is our first low price offerings, our businesses, and then our consulting. So all in one place. There we go.
Nice. Is that a service? Do you work with people just to set that one thing up?
That's a good question. Maybe I should.
Like to have all of that laid out for the year. That's nice. So you don't have to think about what you're doing in February because it's on the list.
I'll write that down. Stop making more work for me, Erica. But I think this is, I do like it's a one page because then you don't have to think. Like you were saying, like thinking about Book Like a Boss, and there's so many products, so many like kind of scheduling. I'm just like, just get a scheduler, get Calendly, get whatever. Go get it, put it on this page kind of thing. Because a one pager, if you have this set up, you know exactly your lead magnets. And from the lead magnets, you can just ask them to buy something or ask them to talk to you. Like no muss, no fuss every single time, or put them through a sequence. Like, but it can be so simple. So yeah, I might just do that as a workshop. I got to think about that.
So you have your lead magnets. Your lead magnet most likely have call to actions because I have lead magnets. I do this show and I usually forget about the call to actions, but I'm working on that and I have them written down now.
Good. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing, because like the call to action, and it's also like, if you really want to get into, I tag them differently, right? So I tag them in my CRM, customer relationship management system. So like MailChimp, ConvertKit. If they're downloading the no code industry survey, I know that they're interested in no code and they're interested some kind of way with no code. But 50 plus side hustles, I know they're interested in building a side hustle or an online business. So I tag them differently of what the follow-up emails are going to be. If someone gets the save time and make more money, I know that they're already selling something probably, and they're just a mess. Like they're using Cash App or PayPal. They don't have their systems in order. They might not know what an email sequence, they might not know what lead gen is or having a landing page. So then I can tag them and talk to them differently based on what lead magnet they're buying, if that makes sense, or just downloading because they're all free.
Makes sense. Well, Doc, I know you got to go. So let everyone know where your favorite social media hangout spot is.
Okay. Some people might call it a dumpster fire, but it's Twitter. So _ Doc Williams, I'm there. Or if you go to youtube.com/Doc Williams, DOC Williams, I answer almost every single YouTube comment. I've been doing that since having 1 subscriber. We're at almost 19,000. So I still go in daily. It's me actually commenting and writing back to every single comment. So find me at those 2 places.
All right. I appreciate you, Doc. Everyone, this has been the business of live streaming with goals and planning with Doc Williams. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.